So I joined Renew's IOP after being in a higher level of care, and it seemed like a good step down because I was going from a really contained environment to being at home where there's a lot more opportunities to still act in the eating disorder and to go back to the environment where the eating disorder was at its worst. And so being in Renew's IOP was great because I was still surrounded by other people who understood and surrounded by people who could give me tips and who could give me help and kind of help me navigate my life outside of the contained environment and start to integrate normal life with recovery and learn how to do those both simultaneously. The IOP process was helpful because you were surrounded by other people who understood, and you also were taught different skills and taught other ways of dealing with things at home without using the eating disorder. And it was really helpful. You also had meal support. So on days that were harder, you kind of got to process that with your peers and with the therapists and continue talking about what was still hard and being able to be vulnerable about the fact that recovery at home isn't perfect. And the only way to heal is to be able to come forward, and IOP gave that opportunity. You could come forward and you didn't feel like you had to hide anything. You could just be honest about what was happening and get the support that you needed. If there's anything that I can say to someone who's going to join IOP, it is to go all in, to be willing to kind of just surrender your process, surrender the recovery, and just say, I need help. I need this guidance, and being willing to open up your mind to the tools that you're being provided. They don't always seem useful right away, but if you choose to use them and choose to practice them, that was the best decision that I ever made. If I were to describe my life in recovery, I would definitely say it is so much more free. I feel like there's so much more room in my mind for things that don't have anything to do with food, things I get to focus forward on my values and get to focus forward on the things that I genuinely care about, to be fully present in all my relationships at work, in my marriage, with my friends. I don't avoid events that include food anymore, and I'm able to let those relationships grow and to be able to be social instead of just constantly afraid and constantly engaging in the eating disorder. And also I've learned to just be open and to be forthright about my weaknesses and forthright about the hard times, because there's still struggles, but it does not take over my life anymore. I feel like I have been able to just completely open my eyes and widen my lens to everything that I genuinely care for, and to be present in what. If there's anything that I can say to somebody who's thinking about joining IOP or it's being recommended, I just recommend that you give it a try, that you give it a shot, that you open up your mind, that the kind of skills that you would learn in IOP, you're not learning at home, you're not learning on your own. So just to be willing to give it a shot, and once you're there, to choose to go all in and to choose to utilize the skills that you're learning, because they've been created for a reason, and learning to implement them in my daily life was the best choice I ever made.